We are heading to Manila's Chinatown. Now this is not just any other Chinatown. This is the first and oldest Chinatown in the entire world, and the story goes back to the late 1500s when the Spanish came here, took control of the area and set up their colony. But the Chinese had already been here for centuries, trading with native Filipinos. But the Spanish needed the Chinese in their business, so they took the Chinese from their town on this side of the Pasig River, sailed them across and put them in a neighbourhood over here called Binondo. And that is how the first ever Chinatown was born. We have literally just crossed the bridge of the Pasig River, and you can see here Chinese writing on top of the buildings.
Now we are officially in Chinatown. We have the famous red and gold Chinese lanterns as we are walking into the main area of Chinatown, and you can just see Chinese writing everywhere. I'm really surprised at how much of an influence that there still is just with this short walk after the bridge. So I'm hoping that we can try some Chinese food, and hopefully it's as good as the food that we tried in China. Look at this here. If only we could read Chinese writing, Alan. I have no idea what this is for.
I can tell you in a second.
It kind of looks like it used to be some sort of statue. Kind of looks like someone should be like standing here, but no idea. Just behind me you will see the first sighting of traditional Chinese architecture. Now as you can see, it's looking a bit grubby and left behind. The windows are looking very thin. I don't even know if it's still used, but it's really cool to see the contrast, because a lot of the buildings in this area, they don't really have that Chinese feel. So it's amazing that that is still here, and probably it's been here for hundreds of years. It does look very old, but let's take a walk around and see if it's still open and we can find out what this was used for all these many years ago. I honestly cannot believe this. Try and take a guess as to what you think this building is used for. Wait till you see. A fire station. Isn't that the coolest fire station you've ever saw in your life?
How many years has this been a fire station?
1970.
1970?
Yes.
What was the building before?
Oh, sorry.
What was the building before? Has it always been a fire station?
Yes.
Oh, this was built as a fire station? Oh wow!
South Nicolas, Volunteer Fire Brigade.
Sorry?
South Nicolas, Volunteer Fire Brigade. Fire
Volunteer
station.
as well?
Oh, so you volunteer?
Volunteer.
No, you don't get any payment?
Oh wow, good man.
You read Chinese?
Chinese.
So you're
Chinese volunteer.
Chinese Filipino?
Filipino. I'm a Filipino.
Filipino?
Filipino.
Is any of your family members from China?
No.
No?
No family in China.
But you can read this Chinese writing?
The owner is Chinese.
The owner is Chinese? Wow.
Chinese.
And the owner now lives in Manila?
The two and security guard here in the fire station.
Oh, good man, well done.
I'm a security guard here in the fire station.
Amazing, thank you for...
I am Ruben Sarena, and this my company is Shannon.
Legend, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, good luck, take care. See you later.
Thank you.
So that was built 50 years ago in the 1970s, and the owner of that is Chinese, so that explains the Chinese theme to the building. I cannot believe there is voluntary firefighters in this city. How brave do you need to be to run into a burning building without even getting paid for it? I have not got the balls for that in a million years.
One thing that I find pretty interesting is that every single shop has the writing in English and Chinese. You'll see here, like we have a chemist, and then you've got the writing there, Chinese, and the same for a vet's English name and then the Chinese writing underneath. So I don't really know how many people here do actually speak Chinese, but put the effort in anyway for Chinatown.
Man, this is about as Chinatown as you're ever going to get. Look at it. Look at all these light up lanterns on the road. It just goes so well like with the aesthetics of the power lines. And it's absolutely rammed down here. Look at the queues for these restaurants to get in here. So they must be like some of the most popular food spots in Manila.
You can see behind me here we have all these dragons on top of the lampposts all the way down this street and the same on this side, and it's pretty fitting considering that it is now the year of the dragon. Absolutely crazy, the queues here for getting food, drinks. This queue behind me here is for sugarcane juice. I mean, how good can it be? Oh, on you go. Behind me we have the Filipino-Chinese Friendship Arch, and the interesting thing about this is when we were crossing the land borders from China to Vietnam and China into Laos, all the walkways were called Friendship Bridge. We have now reached Lucky Chinatown. Now this looks a little bit different to what we've just walked through, a bit more built up, doesn't look Chinese, but we've got lovely decorations and of course the famous Chengdu pandas, but it looks absolutely amazing. And I tell you one thing, it smells unreal here. I'm getting memories of being back in China. It smells the exact same. I don't even know what the smell is, like it's just Chinese.
So something at this stall smells exactly like the smells you get on the streets in China. I cannot put my finger on what it is, but the smell is literally taking us back to China. I'm going to try and find out what it is on this menu. I think it might be the meat noodle soup. See? Do you think so?
I think so. It looks like something that we absolutely loved when we were there. It was almost like minced meat on top of really thin noodles. We used to compare it to spaghetti bolognese, but let's not start an argument.
Hi, can we have a C? Salamat.
Oh, Alan, look. Chili sauce with sesame seeds.
Right. As much as I love spicy food, look at my top and look at my forehead. I do not need any more heat. So we're going to have this as it is. Sorry, Shannon. I feel like it's just Alipay, this one.
Yeah, I've still got it set up.
We have not even ate this yet, and the smell is already giving me butterflies for getting back to China at the end of this month. This just smells incredible. Shannon, you try first.
Oh, how kind of you. Right, I'll let you try the beef then.
Deal.
I'll go for the noodles and I'll actually try and get a wee bit of the soup. See, we're missing the Chinese spoons, so we can get the soup and the noodles together. Oh my god. That is the taste of China. My god, thank god we didn't put any spice in that. That is getting such a kick to it. It's got a small hint of the Szechuan peppercorn. Obviously, you can only really get the real deal in China, but it's got that kind of like tingly feeling on your tongue. When you're getting that soup, it's just rich, spicy, lots of flavours, really fresh with the spring onions. Delicious.
When we ordered this, we were actually expecting the beef to be minced up small, not to be big slices like this, but it's good to try something different, I suppose. That is delicious. Do you know what that tastes like? The same kind of beef you get the Chinese hamburger, the rojamo. That is what that tastes like, because the beef is also just so tender. And I don't know, maybe they cook it in the same sort of spices. That is absolutely insane. Now this costs 100 pesos, so about £1.30. In Chinese, this would be 130 RMB, so I think that's pretty good value for money.
Now you can tell that these noodles are freshly made because they have sort of a different texture. You can see that they're quite thick here. And when you're eating them, it's not doughy, but they have like a bite to it. Like when you have instant noodles, they don't really like hold the flavour. Even when you're eating the noodles here just completely on their own, they actually hold all the flavour that's in this broth.
That was absolutely unreal, and we are now just going to scrap any plans for this video. If you want to know what Chinatown looks like, Google image it or use your imagination. You'll know what Chinese rite looks like and Chinese lanterns look like. We are now just going to go on a hunt for Chinese food. I want to eat more because that was absolutely incredible.
This is the food stand that you need to come to if you want to try what me and Alan just had, because that was 10 out of 10.
Hi. What is inside the bao bun? Pork. Pork? Okay, can we have, how many do you want? Yeah, can we have 2 please? So these are literally my favourite thing to eat in China, bao buns. Just about every single convenience store in China has got a little steam oven full of bao buns, and every time we're in one I cannot help myself by getting one. They are much more expensive here, I'll say that, but gotta get one, don't we, Shannon?
Absolutely, and these ones have got a twist. They are fried as well, so it's a little bit different.
Right, let's give these a go. I'm not entirely sure about the box they've came in. This looks like the kind of box we get a cheeseburger in out of McDonald's. But here we go. These are completely different to any bao buns we've had before. Look at the bottom, they're completely fried. Now I mention it, I think we had these in Shanghai. Could be wrong, but they get pork inside them and they feel completely different. When they're steamed, they're really, really spongy and doughy, and you press them in, they just bounce back up. Let's see if these are any different. These ones are fried, so they're a lot tougher. And look, I don't know if you can see, there's like a real oil shine on the outside, so they must have been deep fried. And then the bottom is that crust because it sits on that hot slate. Let's go. Oh my god. Now, it doesn't look the same as the one that we've had in China, but let me tell you, the inside of that tastes exactly the same. I don't know how they've got that flavour so exact. That is tremendous, and the pork is all that kind of oily, greasy way. Oh, fantastic. The best Chinese snack you'll ever get.
I am so intrigued as to how good the food can be in this restaurant. I mean, just look at the queue, it goes all the way round here. But unfortunately, I do not have the patience to wait in a queue for over an hour just to eat some food. So if you've been, let us know why this restaurant is so popular. As far as Chinatowns go, I would say that this one is pretty authentic. It does give you the feel of being in a Chinese city, and of course we've got all these amazing Chinese decorations. Unfortunately, a lot of the restaurants are just so heavily queued, we can't really be bothered waiting in them, but I reckon if you stayed in this area there is some really good spots to get some authentic Chinese food, so don't miss out on coming to the oldest Chinatown in the world when you are visiting Manila.